Okay, I just wanted to talk to you really briefly about how to find a missing value from a coordinate if you are given the slope and another coordinate. So this is in topic 3 in your notes packet underneath the slope formula section. So we're going to start just by writing down our slope formula. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That should give me the slope. So looking at my coordinates, y2 would be 3 minus y1, which is r. That's what we don't know. Underneath that, we're going to have x2, which is 6, minus x1, which is 9. Okay, that should give me my slope. Let's go ahead and see what I have right now. 6 minus 9, that's going to give me negative 3. 3 minus r, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to hold off on that. But what am I supposed to get? If I look up here at the top, I'm supposed to get negative 1/3, right? Well, I've got the 3. Cool, that's taken care of. I need to have a 1 on top, and it's supposed to be negative. Well, I've also already got the negative, okay? Because this negative right here on the 3, that kind of takes care of the negative for the whole fraction. So really all I need is to have a 1 on the top, right? Well, looking at this equation right here, 3 minus r is supposed to equal 1. Well, what does r need to be? 2. And that's it. If you need to watch it again, rewind. If you feel like you have no clue what I just said, maybe come talk to me. See if I can explain it a different way. Talk to your neighbor. But again, you're just trying to fill in the missing values so that the slope works. Okay, so let's try it again. Over here, we've got 3, 4, and 8r, and the slope we're supposed to get is negative 3/4. So let's set up our equation. y2 is r minus y1, which is 4 over 8 minus 3. That's supposed to give me, I'm going to write it over here, negative 3/4. Well, let's see what it gives me right now. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, then on the top, I'm supposed to get something else. Well, this is confusing, right? Over here, I have a 4 on the bottom, and right here, I have a 5 on the bottom, right? So something's kind of weird here. So I need to figure this out. What I have basically here is a proportion. So I've got r minus 4 on top that I still don't know, and it's supposed to equal negative 3/4. This is really what I'm now going to focus on working out, okay? So I'm going to try to solve like a proportion by cross multiplying. So I'm going to multiply 4 times r minus 4. Then over here, I've got negative 3 and 5. Multiply those together. I'm going to distribute. Then I'm going to solve. I'm going to add 16. So 4r is 1. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So r is 1/4. That explains why it was so weird looking up there, right? There was no easy way to explain how I could take this 5 that was on the denominator and turn it into a 4, right? But now it makes sense because up here, I was plugging in a 1/4. Well, a 1/4 minus 4, that's negative 3 3/4. Negative 3 3/4 divided by 5, well, that might very well be negative 3/4, but that's hard to tell because we typically do math like that mentally. Okay, so again, I solved it like your proportion. And really, you could solve this one on the left like a proportion as well, but that one was just easy to see without doing it that way. One more like this. Okay, same exact setup. This time, though, it says it's undefined as my slope. So we'll touch on that in a second. So y2 is negative 6 minus y1 of 7 over x minus a negative 5. Okay, remember, minus a negative actually means plus. So this right here is actually a giant plus sign. Okay, so let's work out what I can. Negative 6 minus 7, that's negative 13 over, that's the part I don't know yet, x plus 5. Well, for this to be undefined, I need to kind of establish what my goal is. What is my goal slope here? Well, I know that undefined is the result of a vux, a vertical line, okay? And on that same note, I know that it's a no situation, right? Undefined occurs whenever we have a 0 on the bottom of the fraction because we're not allowed to divide by 0. That's not possible, okay? This right here is what gives me the clue to help me solve this problem. N over O means that the top is a number. Well, that's the negative 13 I just got, but the bottom needs to be 0. So looking at what I had right here, x plus 5, it's supposed to equal 0. Okay, well, if x plus 5 is supposed to equal 0, what does x need to be? Negative 5. There's your answer. So again, if any of this was a little fast, feel free to rewind. If you need me to go over it again with you individually, I am more than willing to do so, or feel free to ask a friend.